Hi guys. Today I'm going to talk about my condition. So last March of this year, I was in Manila and I was looking for a job at that time. And I was, I went to the gym and other stuff like that. But one time I noticed a lump on my neck. And I thought it was because of, too much weightlifting. So I kind of ignored it because it didn't hurt and I didn't feel any, I didn't feel any uncomfortable. But you won't notice it if you're just going to look at it. But if you're going to touch it, it's pretty obvious. There's like a marble ball in my neck. So I ignored it, and by the time that I went home to study a caregiving course, last May 22 I went home. I still go to the gym and doing normal things, but on July, between 1st and 2nd July, one of my colleagues told me to have it checked because we just want to make sure that this will not be a hindrance of our employment one day after we graduate in caregiving course. So I was thinking as well, to have it checked because to just clarify if what this is, because I don't want to have any problems by the time of my employment, and I don't want to create an alibi if the doctor will have this one checked and and suspect this for something that I don't even know. So I don't know what should I tell to the doctor at that time. So I got finally checked up last a second week of August. So the doctor told me to, actually the first doctor was a general surgeon. So he told me to have it ultrasound. So I went to the radiologist to have this one checked, and they found a 4 lump. One is kind of big. It was like 2.5 centimeter by I didn't memorize it, and the other one are small to notice. So they told the radiologist, after the checkup, the radiologist told me that it has some kind of malignant features. So at that time I was quite nervous because malignant features or cancers are serious words. So at that time I was already a bit anxious of what this really is. Then I went back to the doctor and he told me to have it biopsied, to do a biopsy to know whether this one is malignant or benign. At first I was kind of hesitant I was hesitating to have this one biopsy because I've read a lot of articles regarding biopsy and it's not quite there are a lot of complications regarding it, but I didn't have any choice, because the biopsy is the only way for me to find out whether this one is malignant or benign. So the next day I went to the doctor to have this one. I went the next day for the biopsy, and the doctor told me that he cannot do it because he's afraid that he might get what do you call this, hit the nerve that's connected to the thyroid. So he referred me to another doctor, to another hospital for the ultrasound guided biopsy, but unfortunately, and the doctor is not available for a couple of weeks. So what I did is I went to another hospital and went for second opinion, I guess. But I still brought the result, the ultrasound result from the first checkup. So I went to this second doctor, and she's a otolaryngologist. Did I say right? Yeah. He specializes the head and neck surgery. So yeah, she told me to have it biopsied, so I undergone biopsy. And after that, I was really nervous that time already, because the doctor, forced it to take some fluid or tissue of the mass here. So after the result, I was more anxious of what it is, and as well as I was, my anxiety of what it is very, very wide. I was thinking a lot of things. I was preoccupied at that time. So finally, I had the result at the time, and I just couldn't, I didn't totally understand what was indicated on the form, on the result. And so I went back to the doctor immediately. And then after I went inside at the doctor's office or clinic, she immediately told me, in front of my face, frankly, she even told me that, my aura got changed when I went inside the room, because I was, really, really nervous. So when she saw me, she told me directly that it's cystic papillary thyroid carcinoma, so also known as thyroid cancer. So after that moment, I was then shocked. I couldn't think properly. Actually, that time, one word just came to my mind: death. But I was, not only that, I was thinking a lot of things, like so many things. I couldn't, what happened that time. I didn't even understand the doctor completely, because my mind went elsewhere. And she told me that I have to undergo surgery to have it removed, and the procedure called thyroidectomy with lymph node dissection. And she even drew the size of the, I call it slit, and it was really scary. She said that it's like a baby bib, and I was totally unhappy. Not only that, I was unhappy and I was really sad. And she even told me the cost of the surgery. It's even more scarier. Whew. So after I went home, I told my sister about it, and I didn't tell my parents at that time, so it went a couple of days before I told them. So first week from my diagnosis, I was really depressed. I couldn't eat properly. I couldn't think properly. I was occupied with, my mind was occupied with a lot of things. And what am I gonna do? Am I gonna die? Something like that. But I forgot that I have God, in my life. So for the first and second week of my I prayed a lot to God and talked to Him of why. I was being bold, transparent. I had so many questions that, I almost blabbed, like I no longer understand what I was talking about, because I ask Him so many questions, and I ask Him to, to enlighten me on if this is part of His, will in my life. Because I grew up knowing God and Jesus Christ in my life. So, after 2 weeks, it immediately synced in my mind that I should have it. I should not get worried about it too much, because God knows everything, and I told God that I know everything happens for a reason, that He sets up everything in my life. So I surrendered everything to Him, and basically I told Him that whatever happens, whether He heals me in whatever possible way, and whatever His will in my life, let it be done. So my sister told me to have it, to undergo surgery as soon as possible, as well as the doctor told me, and I was thinking, I'm waiting for God's intervention in my life, because for me, God gave those doctors the wisdom and knowledge to cure or to heal people, like literally through medicine or through surgery. But God is the best surgeon. So I ask God that to intervene on what should I do, and ask His guidance and forgiveness, because I believe God. I believe I did so many wrongs, so many bad things, or I did some sins that are very, very unpleasant in His eyes. I feel like it even sets a gap. It even set a gap between me and God, our relationship. So, but I continue to pray every day, every time that I can, think of. Before I prayed like just once in a day, or once in every time I go to sleep. But now I feel like I became more closer to God. So I told God that whether I'll go to surgery or whatever I'm taking, whether it's herbals or medicine from the hospital, it's still His will, be done in my life. And when my sister told me to have it to undergo surgery as soon as possible, and I told him I'm still waiting for God's intervention. So currently I'm taking some herbals, because as much as possible I don't want to go under. I'm not saying that I'm against surgery, but it's probably it's just me that I'm not really confident to give myself, or to take risk, or to trust completely my, and it's just something like that I couldn't explain properly. But yeah, right now, I have cancer, so it's really funny, because every day that passes by, whenever I think that I have cancer, sometimes it's weird, having the type of illness that's very rare. It's rare to us, because frankly speaking, I've never been sick in my life for the past 29 years of my life. I've never been that sick, and then suddenly this cancer just popped out. But I believe everything happens for a reason, according to His will. So yeah, I think that's all for now, and what I'm doing right now is, what I'm doing as of the moment is, I'm planning to have it checked by probably second week or third week of this month. Or I think it's probably second week, probably third week or last week of this month. And I'm taking currently some herbals, and the good news is it's starting to take, I started to feel something, you know. God's intervention is working in my life, you know, His love and mercy, you know, it's working in my life. It's been working, but I just really feel His power is working in my life. So I'm so, you know, very blessed. But whatever happens in my life, it's still gonna be His will. So, so the moment I'm drinking a lot of herbals, and I'm still waiting as well for that, by the time or next couple of weeks, and I'll have it checked by the doctor, you know, what, you know, the status of this condition. And to make myself, you know, busy, I'm, you know, still studying caregiving, so I'll be finished this course this coming November, and as well as I'm doing a fundraising campaign. I'll give you the link on this in the description. This is not for me, but this is about my, you know, passion of helping people. Now, I was kind of thinking if this is gonna work, but you know, I'm just trying because it's my passion to help people, especially those who are less fortunate, and especially those in the mountainous area here in my area. I want to help them in any way that I can, especially, you know, sharing God's word and love of God. You know, the money that I'm going to raise, I'll buy some Bibles, foods, school supplies, or, you know, do some programs like, you know, feeding programs and other stuff, as long as I can share. And with your help, you know, through sharing, or if you can donate, so I just want to help to that, so that I can make myself busy, because every time I don't have any class, I'm like, I get bored here. So yeah, I think that's all the story for now. I'll provide updates, and if you want to know what are the herbals that I'm taking on, I can tell you. But definitely, whatever the result of this, I'm going to make another video. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and God bless you all. Bye-bye.